Hey everyone, day 9 in our Bible reading plan. We are in Genesis 22 through 24 and Psalms 9. I'm going to try to tie in those readings together, but starting with Genesis 22, one of the strongest, most moving chapters in the Bible. After waiting for 25 years for the promise of God to be fulfilled in his life, Abraham is asked to take the very thing that he had waited for and offer Isaac, his son, his promised son, as a sacrifice to God. And you go, why did God do that? And of course, there's a testing of Abraham's faith. Does Abraham follow God because of what God can give Abraham, or does Abraham follow God for God himself? And Abraham comes through that test. He loves the Lord. He's developed a relationship with God. He trusts God. He knows that God wouldn't ask him to do anything against God's character, and somehow Abraham believed that God would provide some solution in any other way to this test. And so he goes all the way to the end. In fact, Hebrews says that Abraham offered Isaac as if he was dead. And in the nick of time, God offers a sacrifice. He shows him an animal, a little ram caught in the thicket. And of course, that ram is a picture of Jesus Christ dying for us. There's two pictures here. First of all, Isaac walking up the hill with Abraham, his father, trusting his father. He says, "Where is the sacrifice?" And he's carrying the wood on his back. A similar picture of Jesus walking to the cross, laying on the altar. But then in the nick of time, it's not Isaac we need to save us from our sins, but the Lamb of God, Jesus Christ, who eventually in the New Testament would do that for us. Remember that the Old Testament is all of it pointing towards Jesus Christ. You see those pictures throughout the Old Testament, which is why I love the Old Testament so much. Sarah dies in Genesis 23, and the first purchase of land in the promised land by Abraham is in Genesis 23. That is the first documented purchase of land. And so a lot of the history now, you think about what's happening in the Middle East. This is a promise that God would give the land to Abraham, and he buys the land. He refuses to take it for free. He buys it. And this is very important, I believe. And then lastly, Genesis 24 is a dating story where, again, we see the willingness of every person in Abraham's network to do what is meant for them, to do what is asked of them. And so the Abraham goes to look for a wife back in the land of Abraham and brings back Rebecca, who herself by faith accepts to leave the comfort of home and go meet a man she's never just heard of. And basically her life changes drastically as she takes the step of faith. So a lot of incredible things happening here. The big idea, the depth of your faith is revealed in the testing of your faith. Think about that today. The depth of your faith is revealed in the testing of your faith. Are you being tested today? Are you believing God no matter how it looks in your life? I pray that we all are. Love you guys, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.